When it comes to using AI, artificial intelligence, inside of the publishing industry, we know there are a lot of do's and don'ts, things to be cautious of, and things that we can be embracing. Today, we're going to be breaking down whether or not we can be using AI to translate our already written novels into another language for publication and for sale. We're going to be talking to everybody's favorite IP and entertainment lawyer, Tony, to find out more.
My name is Tony Iliakostas. I'm an adjunct professor of entertainment law and IP at New York Law School, and I have an Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok account called the IP Professor that is dedicated to all things intellectual property.
This week, we've been having a lot of conversations about AI and its implications on the publishing industry. We've talked a lot in our videos about whether or not we can be implementing AI generated content in our books creation. But a spin-off of that is whether or not this is going to be strategic and legal for us to then use AI to translate our already written novels into another language for publication. So, Tony, weigh in.
So this is totally kosher. I would say in the scale of all the things that we have AI available now, like AI generated artwork, AI writing articles or agreements or anything of that sort, platforms like ChatGPT, AI generated, music-ish platforms where you could give a computer to the ability to generate a rap versus like lesser things. It's on the lesser scale here. Bottom line is that this is as good as it's going to get. This is trouble-free. This is not a legal issue in any way because what you're doing is you are supplying the AI software your original work of authorship. You're supplying an original copyright. It's not like you're asking AI software to generate out of the ether from somewhere, we don't know where, but from somewhere up from another source, a translated version of whatever you're seeking to do. It's translating what you are actually providing it. So that to me is fine. If anything, what gets more tricky with that kind of thing is obviously the accuracy of that translation. So, sometimes conjugations in a certain language have to be used in a specific context, and maybe the AI software isn't aware of that necessarily, especially in the prose that an author may typically write in. So it's the kind of thing where certainly it will alleviate the burden of hiring somebody else to do all the work of translating. But I think inevitably you might have to consult with another, language expert or a translator or interpreter to help with making sure and vetting that the translations that the AI did were accurate. But in terms of a legal issue, it's zero to none, like non-existent whatsoever.
And if you are jumping into a structure where you are going to be taking the novel that you've already created and translating it into another language, it is a really good idea for you to do small sections at a time so that you do not overrun the system. And I highly recommend that you translate a chapter and then check with your secondary source to see how it's doing. If it's a program that's not translating it well, you're not going to want to spend the rest of your time translating the other 20 some, 30 some chapters inside of your novel only to discover it's not going to work in your favor. So test things out just like we test everything out in this industry and make sure it's a good fit that is doing the job fairly well before you proceed forward with it. And of course, if you have questions, ask other authors, ask other people in the industry, because we know all the things and have all the great connections with that one. We don't want to see you failing or struggling with this. So make sure that you're reaching out to see what is working best for other authors before you jump into this. If you have more questions on how you can be leveraging AI inside of your author life and publishing world, we have multiple videos here on the platform with Tony. Make sure you check those out. We're going to link them down below for you. And as always, you can drop your questions down below and you can reach out to Tony online, where he is making sure we are all staying legally protected in the IP and entertainment space. Tony, where can everybody reach out?
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the IP Professor.
If you have questions about the legal side of the publishing industry, drop those down below. Tony will be back for upcoming episodes. We are recording weekly at this point to make sure we're getting you legally protected in this space. And if you have questions in the publishing world outside of the legal realm, go ahead and drop those below. We're dropping daily videos so that you have the ability to level up and be more profitable in your writing and reading endeavors this year. And we'll see you in tomorrow's episode.